Oh, good morning to Morai Vabotai. Bezat Hashem Mincha is going to be 5:15. Please be on time. As we were discussing yesterday, the Halacha tells us that if a person has a choleh, he's a sick person, and so goy is permitted to do even melacha, even allowed to cook for him on Shabbat if he is sick to the point where he's bedridden, where he's very much not feeling good. Goy is allowed to cook for him on Shabbat if he needs it in order to eat food that is fresh and that is good. We said that what happens on Motzei Shabbat? Motzei Shabbat, it's asur even for the choleh himself. Certainly it's asur for a person who is not sick, but even for the sick person himself who is allowed to eat on Shabbat, the leftovers that are left on Motzei Shabbat is not allowed to eat. Why? Because now you could have a Jew cook. Why are you relying bishulei goyim? This thing that's asur. On Shabbat, the Chachamim permitted because there was no other choice. A Jew is not able to cook. Now a Jew is able to cook. You're not allowed to eat from it. That's what we said. All of that is true when it's not in a Bet Yisrael, which means it's not in a Jewish-owned property. However, in a Jewish-owned property, meaning if a person is in his own home where he owns it or he's renting it, is the same as owning it. In that case, there's a svara of the Ravad. The Ravad says, although this is not accepted le'alacha, but this is a fine thing, Avadia makes a tzeruf, he makes a combination of two different arguments. But the Ravad says, bishulei goyim does not apply in a Jewish-owned establishment or home. If establishment is owned by a Jew, then even if a goy cooks in there, it is permitted for a Jew to eat it. Maran in Shulchan Aruch rules against the Ravad, so we don't rely on this argument on its own. However, in conjunction to what we said yesterday, that there's the svara of the Ra'ah. Yesterday we said that when a goy cooks on Shabbat, the Ra'ah held it was permitted even for a regular Jew, a healthy person, to eat it on Motzei Shabbat, even though we also don't follow the Ra'ah because we said Halacha ki Rashba. However, because we have a combination that it was cooked by a non-Jew on Shabbat for the sake of a sick person, and according to the Ra'ah, on Motzei Shabbat it's permitted even for a Jew to eat because it was done in a permissible fashion. And then we also have the svara of the Ravad that when it's the house of a Jew, it's permitted. So you combine these two arguments, even though each argument on its own is rejected. However, the combination is accepted. Hacham Ovadia says that even a healthy person in the house of a Jew, if the food was cooked, is allowed to eat from this food. And certainly the dishes would not be prohibited. So to review very quickly, if a person is sick and he needs a goy to cook for him on Shabbat, there it doesn't matter. House of a Jew, not house of a Jew, it's permitted and he's allowed to eat it. The sick person is allowed to eat it on Shabbat. On Motzei Shabbat, the sick and the healthy person is not allowed to eat it if it's a house of a non-Jew, and if it's the house of a Jew, then even a healthy person would be permitted to eat it. Baruch Adonai le'olam.